Good morning. Welcome to another edition of PreMarket PulseScan with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave price trigger reports that we place in your hand each and every trading day. We got a lot to talk about this morning, but we have very little time to do it, so let's jump right in. The Dow futures is down 470 points at 27,219. NASDAQ 100 down 277 and three-quarter points at 11,295 and a quarter. E-mini S&P 500 down 59 and a quarter points at 3308 half. Russell My Hustle down 30.9 points at 1496.5. Futures Bitcoin Composite Index is down 155, trading at 10,490. Nat gas down 9 cents, trading at $2.43. Crude oil down $1.90 at $36.82. The long bond is up 15.30 seconds at 176 and 26.30 seconds. Gold futures down $7.60 at 1908.80. And silver down 22 cents at $24.02 an ounce. U.S. dollar index up 20 pips at 93.91. Switching over to the ags, we got beans down 9 at 10.14 and a half. Corn down 4.5 at 3.78 and a quarter. Wheat down 6.5 at 5.63 and three quarters. The euro dollar is off 44 pips at 117.20. Pound sterling up 13 at 129.10. Aussie dollar is down 48 pips at 71.46. Canadian is up 36 at 133.24. Euro yen is down 90 at 123.09. Dollar yen is down 26 at 105.28. And the Kiwi is off 28 at 66.20. That's a quick overnight market snapshot. Now let's talk about why all of this is happening. Well, of course, they waited until after the markets closed yesterday, and this came out early last night, that President Donald Trump has tested positive for COVID. As soon as that breaking news crossed the Bloomberg terminal, the markets absolutely crashed instantly. And actually, the markets were on pace today to not even have a Take Back Friday. They were going to rally today. Before this news came out, all the stock indexes were trending in a positive way. All right. The market bias was up. When this news story broke, bam. When I say the market just jumped down, gap down, that's exactly what happened. Craziness, man. Absolute craziness. All right. So it's just getting crazy out here, ladies and gentlemen. Those that hate the president have been lighting up the chat rooms and social media and Twitter and all that stuff, wishing that the president and his family die. Just crazy stuff. You don't wish death on anybody. You don't wish death on anybody. That's a very dangerous thing to utter out of your mouth. When you do something like that, when you try to put a curse on someone like that, you run a very, 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 very big chance of that backfiring on you. And instead of your enemies dying, you die. All right. So if I were you, I would avoid uttering those words out of your mouth. All right. Because payback is something else. What you wish for someone else will more than likely affect you and not them. So remember that. All right. Never pray for another man's death. All right. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. All right. So we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to think evil of no man. Now, he could be the biggest butcher and murderer on the planet. That's different. You could pray a prayer that the Lord would repay. That's different. But to be like, I hope he die, I hate him, and no, you don't want those words to come out of your mouth. You don't want to have bitterness in your heart like that. There's a big difference between righteous indignation and spite and hate and all this other stuff. Just be very careful, American people. Plus, don't forget, you're going to get exactly what you wish for. All right? The people get the leadership that they deserve. So don't forget that either. America is no saint, regardless of whether you believe it was built on biblical godly principles or not. Even if that was the case, we are so far removed from that process that doesn't even matter anymore. Doesn't matter what side of the fence you fall on when it comes to America's foundings. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's not about what you did in the past. It's about what you're doing right now. It's how you finish, not how you start. All right. Finishing the race is far more important than starting the race. And right now, America is not finishing very well. Just remember that. The people will get the government that they deserve. Now, we did have some so-called good news come out, and that was the U.S. unemployment rate unexpectedly plunged below 8% as 661,000 jobs were added. Okay. So having an unemployment rate below 8% is better than 20, 30, 40, 50%, right? So that's where we are right now. Okay. Now, it's also been touted that the Chinese state media has been gloating that Trump has paid the price and the U.S. image has suffered. Okay. So they're really happy, supposedly, if they even wrote this piece. You can never tell these days with so much fraud and stuff going on, but I think it's jacked up all the way around. But let's just step back for a moment. Let's get out of the feelings and emotions. Let's put those away for just a second. Just a teeny tiny itty bitty second. And let's do the knowledge and peep the science behind what may be going on besides what the obvious is. All right. So all of a sudden, our president of the United States has COVID. Now, regardless of what you know or what you think you know about COVID, it's irrelevant at this point because supposedly the commander-in-chief is sick. But that's not good enough in the day and age that we live. We need a little bit more specifics. Now, we just saw him debate the other night. Was he coughing, sneezing, wheezing, sweating beyond what he should have been sweating under the bright lights? That's a question you got to ask yourself. Was he exhibiting any symptoms? Because remember, what we do know, got to go by what we know. What we do know is that those tests for COVID are questionable at best. And they can give off a lot of false positives. Okay. And remember, this is a paranormal, supernatural bug. And they claim that you can have it and exhibit no symptoms whatsoever and be contagious to everybody else and never develop symptoms yourself, according to them. So it would be easy for someone who is on the take to say, oh, Mr. President, your test for COVID just came back positive, even though he doesn't have COVID. And isn't it interesting how they claim, according to the so-called experts, that this is a dangerous plague if you're over the age of 65. If you're over retirement age, if you're an elderly person, this thing could kill you. How convenient. And you have to really say that this is very suspect So we have to examine both sides of the coin. On one side of the coin, we have something very convenient. It's very convenient that after the debate, now he's sick. He wasn't sick the day of or the day before. He was diagnosed after the debate. A debate that, according to the polls, he won. Was this the last straw for those that want to seize power? Was this a last ploy? Did they say, you know, we've done everything we can? We've tried to get him impeached. We've tried to, have him brought into criminal court, civil court. We've tried to roadblock all of the things that he wanted to do in Congress. We tried to expose his wife as being less than upstanding. We've tried to expose his business dealings and his family as being shady. We've tried to do everything. We even tried to upstage him in a debate and failed. Everything they have tried to do to remove him from office has failed. They even came up with an elaborate hoax called COVID-19, and that is not even working. So isn't it convenient that all of a sudden he comes down with, according to the experts, is a possible terminal illness. According to the experts, if you're elderly and you get COVID, it's like having a terminal illness. Yeah. So isn't that convenient? Very convenient. So they're saying, so since we couldn't remove him out of office, why not just kill him? Maybe that'll work. Maybe COVID will do it. So then the question you got to ask yourself is, what happens if this doesn't work? What if he recovers? Since we know that COVID has a 99% recovery rate for healthy people, and for all intents and purposes, the president's healthy. So how is this going to go down? Now, he's already been pushing for certain alternative treatments. So are they going to deny the president the hydrochloroquine with the zinc and whatever other mixture cocktail you're supposed to use with it? Are they going to deny him that? Because, they've been denying the man on the street. Joe Plumber, for all intents and purposes, has no access to it because they have specifically told pharmacies to deny prescriptions from doctors with a PhD and MD, to deny those prescriptions and refuse to fill those prescriptions. When have you ever heard that happening in U.S. history, where a pharmacist was leaned on by the government not to fill a prescription coming in from a doctor for a particular medicine? Now, if anything, the government has removed medicines off the shelf that have been deemed unsafe for people. We know that has happened. But when have you had the government specifically lean on a pharmacy without law? There's no law. They're just leaning on you saying, deny this. And there are pharmacies that have been doing that. Whenever have you seen such a thing? When? And like I said to you yesterday, when have you known a corporation for profit, a for-profit corporation, to be given immunity against damages? Sorry, if you are a manufacturer, you do not have immunity for your products. That's what keeps everything safe, is when you have standards. And those standards have to be met so people don't die from your products that you are producing. All right? If you put cyanide in your donuts and you serve them to people at the coffee shop, you're going to be arrested and tried for murder. So why is it that the pharmaceutical industrial complex can put poisonous chemicals into their synthetic drugs and be given a pass when people start dying or become maimed or injured in any other way? That is unrighteousness, and it is also conspiracy, but more so corruption. While this type of corruption is being allowed to exist, the American people are all but silent on this issue. You got all this protest and terrorism going on, talking about Black Lives Matter. But in this situation, don't all lives matter when it comes to medication, prescribed medication? Should the pharmaceutical industrial complex be given immunity over the things that they manufacture? What do you do when it starts killing people? You don't care as long as you're making money, right? Understand these medicines, for some odd reason, it appears that every time they make some type of synthetic medicine, it affects brown people at an obnoxious rate as compared to non-brown people. I don't know if you guys were aware of that or not. Have you ever just listened to the medical commercials? According to them, brown people suffer every disease under the sun, and it's only specific to them. You ever researched that, ladies and gentlemen, why that is? Have you ever looked at that? Why do brown people suffer all these terrible diseases as compared to non-brown people? Things happen right underneath the American people's eyes, and they don't even open their eyes to see what's going on. Think about it. Why is this? Why has there been an explosion in the rates of autism? Autism used to be rare, like 1 in 1,000 kids. It was so rare, most people never even heard of the term autism. But now it's like 100 out of 1,000 kids are going to come down with autism. The numbers may even be higher than that now. An explosion in the rates of autism. And people don't even bat an eye. That just goes by them like nothing. You see Godzilla coming out of the ground right in front of you, and you just keep walking and going on about your business. So you're supposed to ignore the giant monster coming out of the ground. That's what autism is, the giant monster coming out of the ground, and people are just going on about their day, ignoring the monster, not even looking at the monster. Buildings are falling down. The ground is breaking up like it's a massive earthquake, and people just going on about their business, talking on their phones, typing on social media, like nothing's happening. Don't even see the giant monster, ignoring it totally. But you want to terrorize communities over police shootings, but you don't want to stand up against pharmaceutical tyranny. Sounds to me like you got your priorities all mixed up. Do you know how many people die as a result of pharmaceuticals every year? More people die from pharmaceuticals than die at the hands of police. The numbers are staggering. You can't even, it's not even a comparison. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people die every year as a result of the pharmaceutical industrial complex. And no one cares. As long as they're making their profits, everything is okay. They're willing to look the other way. And that That can't happen. That shouldn't be happening here. So, as a result of all this corruption on so many multiple levels, don't think it's strange that America is on her way out. This election is not going to change that. There's not going to be a savior to come and rescue you. There's not going to be a savior to come and rescue the economy. There is no savior coming to fix the police brutality. There is no one coming to fix all of the ills that plague the United States of America. She has done it to herself. All right. The patient has over-medicated themselves. America has committed suicide. And no one even cares. No one cares. You live in the States, but you don't care about what's happening in the States because you don't think it's going to come nigh you. But oh, on the contrary, it's going to affect everyone that lives in the States. You have no idea what they are planning for you going into 2021. 2021 is the beginning of the end of freedom for the American people. Whatever shred of freedom that you thought you had at this very moment, you can kiss all of that goodbye come 2021. Oh, you're going to get the change you can believe in. You're going to get your change, all right. But trust and believe this, you're not going to like it. You're going to be wishing. You could be wishing for 1999. You're going to be wishing for the good old 90s before the NASDAQ bubble burst. You could be wishing for that. It's going to get so bad, some of you will be wishing for the Great Depression. You're going to be wishing for the 1930s. Oh, if it could only be the 1930s. Oh, if it could only be the 1960s, the 70s, the 80s, any other decade. Oh, only if. Yep, get ready for it, ladies and gentlemen, because austerity is coming. All it takes is the push of a button to begin that tidal wave. And the Fed is ready to do it. No more backstopping, no more stimulus checks, no more bailouts, no more anything. They're going to let you guys choke on it. You've already mortgaged your future and your children's future and your children's children's future. They're going to be the ones suffering. You're going to suffer too in the beginning, but your beginning of suffering will not be on the scale of your grandchildren's suffering because of what you have allowed to happen under your watch. Instead of standing up and protesting for the right things, you're wasting energy protesting over the wrong things. Because while you're protesting, your American freedoms are going out of the window. Tyranny is rising while you're protesting. You're forgetting about the important things. They've given you the cause that they want you to protest against. And you've fallen for it. I don't know what else to tell y'all, man. I don't know what else to tell you. This is Rocktober. And they've already started rocking you. It started last night with the president getting coronavirus. Could this be fake news? Could it be a lie? Possibly. Or could he have been exposed by nefarious means? Yeah, that's also very possible. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. The New York Times is now saying that the RNC chair has the virus as well. Isn't it interesting that the virus is only attacking the Republicans this morning? You haven't heard about a famous Democrat getting coronavirus. All right. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Don't be blind, people. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them pull the wolves over your eyes. But that's what they're doing. And the question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Just saying. All right. Think about it over the weekend. But if I were you, to be quite honest, because we know that they love the fake news, just get ready. Because this is a situation where, according to the market, the way the markets are moving coming into today, technically speaking, today's movement doesn't mean anything. I would not be surprised if the market closes in the green today. We could have a rally into the close today, according to the way the algorithms are shaping up this morning. All things being equal, if it continues on the current trajectory, there is a high degree possibility that the market will rally into the close today. All right, so just want to hip you to that as well. Possibility. All right. Don't be fooled by what you see going on today, ladies and gentlemen. They like to play these games with you. It should also be noted that coming into today, we got a little mixture going on here. We got the Dow already in a corrective state, and we have the Russell in the Kumo cloud on the algo charts. But as far as the NASDAQ, it still remains in a bullish stance, and the S&P 500 is also in the Kumo cloud. So the NASDAQ is alone in its bullish positioning, which means that when you have mixed markets like this, it's rare to have them in various stances like this. You got one market in a under a corrective state where it could start correcting. And then you have others that are already in the Kumo cloud, and then you have the NASDAQ alone being bullish. Yeah, that's something to think about going into the weekend, all right? So heads up, eyes open, and just prepare yourselves for what you might end up seeing, because it may be very interesting going into Monday. We could have a massive rally come Monday to shake things up a little bit. So just prepare yourself for that too, okay? Those that are pulse waivers, you know what to do. You got your marching orders. You know how to move and manage these open positions. You know what the intraday price inflection points are. I gave a few of those out last night in last night's video, so you already know what to watch for and how to move in this morning's environment. That's the good thing about the system. It takes into account these probabilities of the unknowns, and we design a trading plan on what to do. So we have the what if scenario. If this happens, do this. If that happens, do that. So regardless of what news piece comes out, you are forearmed to deal with it. All right, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Take time to kick back, spend time with the family, friends and family, and hopefully you have hobbies and stuff you like to do that help you to relax, and you should go do that. Spend time with friends and family. Yeah, and smash that like button, man. Come on. Help us navigate YouTube's algorithm. It doesn't care about subscriptions anymore. It cares about likes. So you gotta smash that like button if you would like for me to continue to do this. Because at the end of the day, we look over the numbers every year too. And if no one's liking the material, then that means I'm not giving the people what they want, or the people don't care. And I guess we'll have to just do everything in the trade room, or go over on Patreon or some other platform where people want to hear what we got to say. So smash that like button, man, if you want me to keep doing this, because I don't do it for my health. I do it because I'm trying to help as many people as possible. But if no one wants my help, then I can't help them, right? I can't help people who don't want to be helped. And with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And go to PulseWaveTrading.com so you can break bread with us, learn how to extract money out of these markets regardless of the situation. And I'm out. Peace.